It's time for another fan review. Welcome to Psych IRL. My name is Donna. This video was sponsored by Squarespace. Start your free Squarespace trial today at squarespace.com/psychirl and use code PsychIRL to get 10% off your first purchase. Last time I did a fan review, you guys really wanted me to review the Dan and Phil Phandom. Yeah, that's what it's called, the Phandom. It's a combination of the two names. So today, that's what we're going to do. For those of you thinking, Donna, why are we examining these typical YouTubers? They're just like everyone else.
Excuse me?
What makes Dan and Phil so interesting to look at isn't necessarily attributed to the type of content they make, but how their fans react to the things they do. I want to first preface what I'm going to say next by saying not all their fans are like this. I repeat, not all the fans are like this. There is a percentage that are though, and we're going to be talking about that percentage. Unlike other YouTubers' fans, some individuals in the fandom seem to want these two creators to be dating, and are overly intrusive in these creators' lives. So, personality YouTubers in general who share aspects of their lives online do tend to get more dedicated fans, wanting to know every detail of the creator's life. Perhaps it may be because you're attracting a younger demographic, or you're making the viewer feel like a friend, and if you're lucky, you're attracting both. Other creators who have a reputation for crazy fans are Jake Paul, Emma Chamberlain, Trisha Paytas, and PewDiePie. If you say one bad thing about these creators I just mentioned, you may want to hire a bodyguard. Dan and Phil also fit this description. Upon looking at their videos, they make the typical YouTube content. They state their opinion on things, film reaction videos, try out things they've never done before, and vlog. Both creators started on their own at first and then decided to work together and even live together. This is when the Phandom was born.
What is the sexiest face you can pull?
This fan base can get really complicated. In fact, there's a subset of formations within the fan base itself. Now, I'm not going to go over all of them because each subset has their unique personalities. The reason for me divulging this information is that there can be some in-group fighting and bullying within the fandom. For example, there's a group of people that like Dan more and there's a group of people that like Phil more. And when asked the question, Dan or Phil, the answers can get pretty ugly.
I have seen people tell others that they will kill their whole family just for liking Dan or Phil.
And there seems to be this level of sensitivity within the fandom. Okay, so I would say a lot of fandoms are sensitive and triggered to a certain extent, but the Dan and Phil fandom are kind of aware of it. So for instance, in this video called How to Trigger the Fandom, it has 126,000 views, and the fandom has these inside jokes, and the video is kind of ironic in that they're kind of making fun of and teasing how to trigger the fandom. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know some of these jokes. So let's skip to ones that I actually know. Alright, so in this next clip, as we know, the fandom really wants Dan and Phil to be together as a couple, and so this is very triggering. Long, long hug by Phil and supposedly Dan? Nope, Dan is right there. Sorry, fandom. I'm so sorry.
Are you gay, says Daniela. No. Are you shocked? Unfortunately not. Sorry, guys. And shipping girls.
Dan saying he's not gay. Super triggering.
That he and Phil are not together. Just so you guys know. I don't know if you're part of the people who think that they are, but they're not.
Another very triggering moment of people saying that Dan and Phil are not together. Okay, so here's another moment that really triggers fans, and it's this trope of Phil not being able to say anything during collabs or just even at all. So here's another one.
Are there any here in the first few rows? Okay. Are there any
Phil, talk.
Have Phil express an opinion?
Phil, talk!
Sorry.
It's not Phil and Dan. It's Dan and Phil. Okay, so this next video is more on the serious side. It has about 197,000 views, and someone actually compiled clips of YouTubers shading Dan and Phil. So we're gonna check that one out.
So popular. They got cardboard cutouts at the YouTube, the British version of VidCon, Summer in the City, and people were standing next to them taking pictures.
There were basically people queuing to take pictures with cardboard cutouts of them. They have magazines with them in. You walk down the street, and if you see a gaggle of teenage girls, someone's got fucking whiskers on them somewhere.
So the white text is obviously the video maker commenting on these creators' videos.
Some of his hashtag relatable content, some of it's okay. Like, I do kind of watch it because I'm like, yeah, cool.
The problem is I can see straight through it.
Yeah, more and more these days. I think after that one time that we saw them in the green room, like, when they were just like totally the most normal people you've ever seen.
It's really weird.
Like, then they are not like they are on the internet.
I would say that criticism of those YouTubers talking about Dan and Phil is pretty valid. Sure, it's a little weird if fans are lining up just for a photo with a cardboard cutout and not an actual person, but at the end of the day, who cares? Also, yeah, it shouldn't be surprising that YouTubers aren't 100% like they are on their videos. Videos are obviously an amped up version of the YouTuber self. I mean, yeah, some people are a little fake, but let's not get into that.
Also that hair. I can't judge it because I've had that hair. But just because your straightener goes up to 500 degrees does not mean you need to go there. That hair is burnt. But once again, I can't judge.
Judges anyway.
Take Dan and Phil, for instance. There are so many messed up sexual stories about those guys, and they're straight. So...
Well, for that one, there's evidence of Dan saying multiple times that he's not gay, so I feel like it's safe to go off of his own words.
Are you gay? Thanks, no. Am I gay? No. Okay, a bunch of people just typed, "Are you gay?" into the chat when I made that joke about Jack. No, that was a joke, okay? Calm down. I still like boobs.
Now, in my opinion, I felt like a lot of that were just other YouTubers joking around and nothing really to be sensitive over. There have also been cases of when other YouTubers have been joking about Dan and Phil. The comments are just filled with people kind of hating and being overly sensitive. I talk a lot about what makes viewers like certain YouTubers and what propels their subscriber count up. And I've always wanted to make tutorials on this channel, but kind of felt like that it didn't fit. Because of that, I decided to make a guide to help any aspiring YouTuber out there, and it's basically my 2 cents on what has worked for me and what hasn't. Now, this will all be done using a website with Squarespace, and it's completely free, and I'm hoping to have it live at the end of the month. And remember, if you're starting a website, start it today with squarespace.com/psychirl, and use code psychirl to get 10% off your first purchase. Squarespace is an amazing place to build your website with many beautiful templates and designs, flexible for any kind of website. It's an all-in-one platform, so no plugins, no updates, no patches, ever. Now, shipping or imagining/wishing 2 people on screen to be in a romantic relationship is kind of a given these days. In my opinion, though, I think some in the fandom take it a little too far.
I'm gonna rescue you from this burning building, Phil. Here we go.
Many times when someone else is on screen with either Dan or Phil, there are individuals in the fan base who do not like it. The problem is more apparent when a female is on screen. Dan doesn't want to be in the video. Poor Phil can't say anything because of Kat. Kat has a crush on Dan. Phil doesn't want to be in the video either. Am I the only one that hates her, or is it the entire comment section? For a period of time, Dan's younger brother even had to private his social media accounts because he was being bullied by the fandom. They said things like he would never be able to live up to Dan. When it comes to YouTube, I've always felt like there was normal shipping. And sometimes it happens when you see 2 people on camera and you feel like, oh, there's some chemistry between those 2 people. They'd make a cute couple, and you know, sometimes you see that in the comments. Now with Dan and Phil, I feel like it's taken to the next level. For instance, there are theories that Dan and Phil use the same bedroom. This video has 116,000 views. Okay, so this clip had to be muted because the owner of this video used copyrighted music, but the gist of it is, Phil makes a tweet that shows a centipede, and most importantly, it shows his floor. Now, I don't know what this clip is. But then Dan does a live stream where he shows his floor, and it's similar to the photo Phil had taken, which leads to theories of them using the same room. Now, the owner of this video explains it could just be another part of the house, but who would take a photo of a centipede in another part of the house? To me, that explanation does not make sense. I mean, gray shoes, a lot of people have them. I have gray shoes. Those could have been mine. Now, there are a number of compilations out there. This one, for instance, has 1 million views. And these compilations are composed of Dan and Phil doing slightly boyfriend-like, and when I mean slightly boyfriend-like, it can be like a nudge on the shoulder, a tap on the back.
Wedge.
Living with you is really stressful. You're
not.
really messy.
I'm not.
You're really messy.
Fans will take those moments, put them together in a single video, and make videos that show proof that they're actually husbands or they're actually in a relationship.
I'm so pale, and if I wore pastel, I would just fade into the wall.
So you feel the need to cover up
the paleness. Yeah.
Wait, I'm so confused. How is that boyfriend material?
Or you look like Voldemort.
I would bang Voldemort.
For that one, maybe, even though it was a joke, I could see your point.
No! Is that what you meant to do? Yes! Phil Lester! You're a genius! If this was the Olympics, I would be...
Did I just...
No! Dan! How could you do that? We got so far and then you just moved the mouse.
Okay, this is making me feel weird because I remember watching that same video and there was no instance of there being a relationship vibe. For someone to feel relationship vibes from that clip kind of shows you the power of perspective. If you really want something to happen and you're gonna look for it, you're gonna see it in every single instance.
Wow, Phil
Strapping
me up on camera.
And you can do numbers too.
There's a certain audience for this on the internet.
That clip just kind of shows they know how their fans are.
They did that whole thing! This is the 5th or the 6th video in the series.
What was that zoom into the hands? Were they freaking out that they almost touched hands? This one also has 1 million views, and this one is called Rough/Touchy Dan and Phil compilation.
What is the one thing that you want to do before you die? That's gotta be Phil's mum.
Hey! Actually, shut up.
Hold on, is this video literally 9 minutes of them jabbing each other?
Dan wins.
Flawless victory.
Round 3. Fight.
I don't think I can watch this whole thing. Now, I will say that there are people out there that do ship Dan and Phil for the meme. They don't really believe that they're in a relationship. They just wish for it to happen. Now, with the fans that ship these two creators together, there is also another subset of fans called antis. These individuals are totally against the imagined companionship of Dan and Phil.
Don't kill me! I'm young!
Some even go as far as bullying those who do ship them together. Like I said, this fan base can get very complicated. The strong desire of the fans to want them to be dating can happen because of a number of reasons. It could be because seeing other people together temporarily soothes our own loneliness. Or maybe we just like seeing other people in love. Or maybe even we just want to compare it to our own relationship. It really isn't a new phenomenon though. Hollywood has taken our obsession with romance and profited off of it for years. Romance movies are $1 billion industry after all. Some YouTubers are just following suit and using this to their advantage. Jake Paul has admitted to the New York Times how his relationship was faked. The views when your favorite couple on YouTube break up is considerably higher than their usual view count as well. It's really hard for me to say the cause of why their fans are like this. In-group fighting, obsessiveness, and wanting to see these creators date so badly. Now, this is just my theory, so feel free to come up with your own. But the reason why I think the Dan and Phil fandom seem even more obsessed than the usual fan is that they're a combination of two personalities. We can easily see the behavior of fans from one person, but take that and multiply it times 2. That equals the fandom. Remember the time when other viewers would leave Dan and Phil comments on other YouTubers' comment section? Those were the days. But seriously, what do you guys think about the Dan and Phil fandom? Lately, I think it's calmed down. Now, obviously, like I said, not all fans are like this, but it has calmed down to a certain extent. I also have been seeing some speculations that they're quitting YouTube and people are upset and scared about that. Dan hasn't uploaded on his personal channel in a very long time, so that has some fans concerned. That's the end of this video. I will see you guys next time. Stay psyched.